Want to know why? Ask how. Howard the Humongous. There's a plot going on in plain sight, and you and I are likely to be its victims. It comes from the conservative obsession with shrinking your government, the conservative obsession with privatizing government services that you and I depend on. And it threatens something basic, your security and mine. The plot showed up this week in the airline industry. Airport security lines became unendurable at just the time when the downing of an Egyptian air jet made security screenings all the more necessary. Here's how bad it's gotten. In just one recent week, nearly 7,000 passengers of just one airline, American Airlines, missed their flights, 7,000 people, because of security line waits of up to 2 or 3 hours in airports. And thanks to a computer glitch in Phoenix, Arizona, 3,000 pieces of luggage had to be trucked from Phoenix to LA, Las Vegas, and San Diego just to be screened. This is ridiculous. Talk in the press turned immediately to two solutions: explosive sniffing dogs and privatizing airline security services. The dog solution sounds great. I love to pet them when they're in the airports. But it won't happen in the immediate future. There are only 142 dog teams at work in America's entire airport security system. And there are 385 primary airports. That's half a dog per airport. But the real solution to the aircraft security problem is actually much, much simpler. Get rid of Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan. According to TSA spokeswoman Lori Dankers, Congress, quote, Congress has capped the number of uniform screeners for budgetary reasons. In other words, Congress has cut the number of uniformed airport security screeners from 50,000 to 42,800 nationwide. That's a cut of nearly 15%. Meanwhile, the number of passengers has risen 15% to 740 million from 643 million. In other words, wait. In other words, the number of passengers has risen by 200 million. By 100 million. Let's do that again. The number of passengers has risen by 100 million. That's a big number. And staff has been cut by 15%. On what planet is it sane to reduce supply by 15% when there's a 15% increase in demand? What's more, in 2015, red teams with the Department of Homeland Security's Office of the Inspector General were able to smuggle mock weapons and explosives through the screening process in 67 out of 70 tries nationwide. So the Transport Security Administration has been forced to conduct more thorough inspections of people and carry-on luggage, not less. This calls for more personnel, not less. The transport workers unions sometimes really gum things up, just like government sometimes really gums things up, just like conservatives really sometimes gum things up, and I'm sure liberals sometimes gum things up. Nonetheless, the Transport Workers Union has suggested a solution. It wants 6,000 more full-time people. Sounds like a lot, right? But it's less than the 7,200 that government has cut. And that solution makes sense. But the TSA, that is more people, not less. But the TSA has only been able to get Congress to approve hiring 800 more people plus a few part-timers. We need 8,000 more security screeners. But we're getting 800. And here's the catch. Remember, there are 385 primary airports in the United States. Hiring 800 more people gives us two extra security inspectors per airport. That's absurd. Who is putting the TSA through this absurd hoop? Who has restricted, bear with me, written a script for you. Let me see if I can find my place in it. Who has restricted the TSA to a mere 800 additional airport security people when it needs 8,000? It's Congress. It's Mitch McConnell, John Boehner, who has fortunately gone away, and Paul Ryan. And their goal is really simple. Here's where the plot comes in. The goal is to gum up the works. The goal is to put a monkey wrench in the spokes. The goal is to make it look as if government cannot do the job. Why? So you can insist that the solution is privatization. So you can open up airline security to fat cat campaign contributors who will add to costs and decrease effectiveness by lowering wages and skimming profits off the top, then giving some of those profits to you for your campaign fund. Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan want us to make the same mistake we made in privatizing prisons. We set up a system in which the more people we imprison, the higher the profits. We've given rich folks with far more money to spend on manipulating the government than you and I will ever see in a lifetime a perverse incentive. We've motivated them to put more people in jail. The bottom line of all of this, we've been scammed by a group of cultists, and it's a big group of cultists. They are the conservatives who worship at the feet of small government. So when you wait for 2 hours in an airport security line, when you miss your flight, and when you have to sleep overnight on the floor of the airline terminal, blame Mitch McConnell, John Boehner, and Paul Ryan. Blame the conservative cult. Blame the flaw in the conservative, at least one flaw in the conservative philosophy. Blame the folks who cut airport security personnel by 15% when the number of passengers went up by 15%. And blame the cult that motivates the conservatives. That is the cult of small government, the cult of shrinking government at any cost, including the cost of your convenience, including the possible cost of your life. This is Howard the Humongous, speaking to you from the future, that it's your job and my job to make. Or, want to know why? Ask how. And now for that mysterious, invisible, impossible little off button. I've found it.